Why hello there folks, and welcome to a game called Splendor. Today we're going to learn how to play this game, plus if you stick around to the end you're going to get some tips on maybe how to score some more points. If you do like this video, then gently whisper to that subscribe button. Maybe just subscribe. You know, it helps me, or if you want to see more of this content, helps you. But let's go ahead and dive on into it. Alright, so here is the setup of our game. A few things to look at, few things to mention. We've got three different piles you can see by the backs and the little icons right there, the dots that we've got. We've got a bunch of chips you can see right here. We've got brown, white, green, red, blue. The gold right there is a wild, and then we are going to take some out depending on player count. So you can see we took 3 of each color out right there. Kind of hard to see the browns. We took 3 of each color out right there for a 2-player game. You're also going to have these nobles tiles over here, and you're going to have a certain amount depending on how many players you're playing with. So again, at a two-player game, we have 4 of those out. Now here are all of the cards, all the gems, again, just showing you all that we've got, and those are going to match up with those that we have up there. So starting the game right here, this is going to be your setup. You're going to take the greens on the bottom, deal 4 of them out, the yellows in the middle, and the blues on top. 4 out from each deck. Now on your turn, you can take one of 4 actions. If you want to, you can take 2 of the same color. So if I want to buy this card, I'm going to need 1 green, 3 blues, and 1 white. So if I wanted to start that, I could take 2 blues and put them in front of myself. Then on my next turn, if I wanted to, another option you could do is you could take 3 of different colors. Now these don't include the wilds right here, but if I wanted to continue working on this and I could take 3 of different colors, I could take 1 green, 1 white, and 1 blue. Those are 3 that are all different right here. So you could do that. It's not really focusing so well, but I could do that right there. And then now, on my next turn, I'm going to have exactly what I need to pay for that. So on my next turn, the third action you can do is pay for a card. So I'm going to go ahead and pay what I need right here, which is 1 white, 1 green, and 3 blues. And that is just going to go back over here. And now I've purchased this card. So that card is in front of me. The next one's going to come on out, and we're just going to keep on going in turns. Now, the cool thing about this one is this one's not worth any victory points. You can see some of these have victory points on them. That one's 4 victory points up there. That's a lot. This one is 2 right here. You can tell that's going to be pretty hard to get. 7 reds. My goodness, there's only 4 in a 2-player game, so you would need some wilds to get that in the first place. Or the other thing you could do is this right here is going to give me a discount. So this isn't worth any points, but anytime you see a green, it's going to give me a discount. So now if I wanted to buy this card, let's say, we could look at the green and that would pay for itself right there. So we would not even need a green to buy this. We'd need 2 whites, a blue, and a brown, and then the green is already paid for with a discount here. And that is going to accumulate. So if I have this, and this, and this, and this, let's just line them up with the same colors right there. So if we got something like that, again, we're always going to replace. But if I wanted to buy this card right here, we could look and see what all we've got. So I could take these 2 discounts. So I would need 1 red, 3 blue, and then I do have 1 white, so I could discount that as well. And that's how that is going to work. So that's this first row right here. Most of this first row doesn't really have a lot of points in it, but you're basically working towards those discounts. The second row, a little harder to get, but those do have victory points, most of them. And then the last row, really pretty hard to get, but those are worth a lot of victory points. So the last action that you can take is the action to reserve a card. Let's say you see someone getting close to taking this card you want, you can go ahead and reserve that card, and when you do that, you also get to take one of these. So that's how you get to do that. That's how you get to reserve a card, and that's how you get these wilds right here. So I would get that wild to use for later on. And then, of course, when you use it, you go ahead and move it over. So make sure you keep these distinct from the other cards that you already have played out. Another thing to keep in mind is, let's say, throughout the game we got 4 of these, and then we got 4 of these brown cards as well. Let's say the end of my turn, we get this card. So now I've got 4 browns and 4 reds. And we look at this, and this has 4 browns and 4 reds. That's how you get the nobles. And that we would get that at the end of this turn if we completed that. So you can see 4 reds, 4 browns, and that is the qualification to get this guy. So that's 3 bonus points. The game ends when one person has 15 total points. As soon as that happens, everyone gets 1 more turn, and then the game is over. So fairly straightforward, fairly simple game. Those are your actions, and that is Splendor. Hopefully that gives you a little bit about how to play this game. All right, so tips, as you heard, this is honestly a really pretty simple, pretty straightforward game, but that doesn't mean it isn't fun. This is a really nice game. It's kind of fun to see the way that different people do different things, and it's a timing game. So that's going to be the main tip that I'm going to give you, is try to learn the timing. I would say as a general rule, try and find a strategy of one of these nobles that you're going to go for. And so say, okay, I want to go for this one that has 3 green jewels, 3 blue, and 3 white. And then really just try to make that happen. Now don't neglect everything else, but try to make that happen. And look at these bottom ones right here. So if you're able to get some of these bottom ones, even though they're not worth points, they're going to give you discounts and make some of these more expensive cards a lot better. If you're focusing just on the big cards, you might be able to get those and get a lot of points, but it's kind of going to stall out. And if you take the beginning of the game most often and you have a bunch of discounts, it's going to come to the middle of the game. You're going to be buying and buying and buying and really arcing up and getting a lot of points at the end. Plus, it can count really well for the nobles. You might even be able to get multiple nobles. So try and balance that out. Another thing I would say is try to take 3 different chips as much as you can. If you're able to take 3 different chips, obviously you're getting a better value with that action than if you're taking 2 of the same color. Now if you have to, or you're trying to beat someone to that to get those chips for whatever you're trying to do, then there's times to do that. But most often, just trying to be as efficient and get as much as you can with every single turn. I would say take 3 chips. Even if there's times you can buy a card, there might be a time to take 3 more chips so that you can get what you want for a future turn, then on the next turn buy your card. So those are my main tips. Try and come up with those combos. Focus on these level 1 cards at the beginning of the game and focus toward a goal for one of these. And if you want to go one step beyond, do keep track of what other people are doing and say, oh, can I beat them to one of these nobles? Because that really might help you out as well. Hopefully that gives you a nice little touch and a taste of the game and some tips, and you can get rolling a little bit better in your next game. Enjoy Splendor. Thanks a bunch.